Good evening, everybody. I got my good friend Leo Bados here. I've been trying to nail this guy down for a long time. Very busy, very inspirational guy. I think that this interview is going to be something that is going to be good for everyone to listen to. Leo Bados is a professional salesperson. He travels a lot for his job. You know, he's Rico Suave, looks like Paul Walker, very good looking guy. And,
Yeah.
he's one of the most motivational guys I know. And every time I'm in a slump, I always call this guy for advice, and he never fails to come through. So welcome to the show, Leo. Why don't you go ahead, man, and just
Yeah.
kind of tell us a little bit about yourself and your background?
Well, my background is sales. I've always been extremely passionate about sales ever since I was about 12 years old. Coming into this new country, I was literally thinking about how I could impact so many people in a positive way. And the best thing I could do is through leadership. And sales is leadership to me, at least. And so I like to study the art of it. I love to study the persuasion tactics and stuff like that. Read books a lot. Follow a lot of people, kind of like you, Prince, and introducing me to Grant Cardone and a lot of these other leaders, Tim Ferriss. It's just, to me, that's really what I do. That's what I've been doing for the past 6, 7 years. It's sales, traveling around and building teams, motivating people through sales.
Okay, cool. So, what kind of? I mean, there's a lot of different industries and jobs that you can jump out there. What kind of made you jump into the sales realm?
Well, kind of like what I said earlier, impacting people in a positive way.
Right.
To me, the ideology of sales is, people buy from people that they like,
Okay.
and so if I'm able to, impact people somewhat in a positive way, individually or in masses, it's yeah. Well, it actually started. Actually, I want to say when I was about 18 years old, I was actually teaching kids how to swim,
Okay.
and I saw this guy walking around in the gymnasium that I worked at, walking around in suit and tie. I asked my buddy, I was like, "Hey, you think I could do that?" He's like, "Yeah, I think you got the, I guess the cojones, we call it,
Yeah,
to go out and do work on commission only." And so I kept applying to jobs, and really my sales career started when I was selling cars.
Right.
Really opened my eyes and on what you could do to someone. Negotiation skills, persuasion tactics, and everything. So that's kind of what got me into it. Now I'm sitting in a position of upper management where I'm teaching teams what I learned in the past few years. So that's really got me. That's what really got me into it. And eventually, where I'm going is having 2, 3, 4, 5,000 people in front of me. Where I'm
Wow.
talking to them, motivating them, and teaching them. You know what I've learned in the past and helping them, improving their lives through specializing in perfecting, I guess, their communication if I must.
Wow. Okay, man. Wow. That was awesome. That's an awesome background. That's great. Okay,
Yeah.
so kind of spinning off of that, what kind of career are you into? What exactly do you do?
Well, I'm in the smart home automation company, merging in with security. So back in the days, it used to be to where a lot of people got security systems through landline systems. Now everybody's noticing a trend right now, especially right now. Even anybody who has iPhones
Okay.
goes to their phone and sees their little home button where they can control their house from the mobile.
Uh-huh.
It's a $5 billion industry right now. In the next, say, 5, 10 years, it's going to grow all the way to $100 billion industry. Going to be a lot of transactions going in with there. Just right now, we're just at the very cusp of it, and looking to ride this wave for the next 5, 10 years. So I sell smart home automation products.
So is that kind of like security packages? What kind of?
So it's a smart home automation with security. So everything you control your house from your mobile, like lights, thermostat, locks, integrated with security systems, to secure people's homes and better peace of mind.
Okay. Awesome, man. That's great. I like it. What company is that?
It's Vault Security.
Okay. What's kind of the background of Vault? How'd you get into that?
Well, so going off of that, about I want to say a year ago or two, year and a half ago, someone approached me. I was actually going to college
Okay.
on campus, going to my speech class, ready for a speech. And this guy approached me. His name's JD De La Rosa. Approached me about an idea, to earn X amount of money over the summer. And I was like, well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. I was learning how to listen at that point. So I went to, a good businessman always has the ability to listen. So I went to listen to the presentation, see what they had to offer. I liked it. I've been with the company ever since. About a year and a half ago now.
Okay, cool, man, awesome. So JD, okay, so is that kind of like the manager for the company, or
Yeah, he's actually the vice president of the company.
VP?
Approached me, and I mean, it's pretty much I've been under his wing since last year.
Okay.
I was one of the best guys of the company. I put up numbers, and he started mentoring me individually, teaching me all these trades and tricks, and it's definitely paid off at this point.
Wow, okay, so you
Yeah.
cashing checks and snapping necks. Okay,
You got to.
man, that's awesome. Okay, so kind of, would you kind of explain for our viewers, kind of like what it is that you do? What is your job? What is your day-to-day operation? What you know what actually what does from the time that you wake up till the time that you go to bed? What does that whole entire day look like for you?
So you got to keep your mind right. I guess I'm going to start it up with that. You got to keep your mind right. We do our business through cold contact and communication. One of the hardest skills to hone, but it's looked for by so many people. It's in business, anybody needs to grow business. The only way they grow is by bringing in new business, and that's exactly what we do. And that's exactly what we focus, and that's exactly what we teach our employees in the company on how to master cold contact and communication. We go wake up, eat breakfast, work out, and then we go into a meeting, and then we go out and hit as many doors as possible. So we are a door-to-door company, just like any other company I started, Spanx, ADT. I mean, whether it's security or whether it's one of the biggest motivations companies there, like Grant Cardone or they have products like Paul Mitchell. They all started through door-to-door, and that's exactly what we do here. We bring new business through door-to-door contact.
Wow. Okay. So you guys are going out. You guys are selling the products to consumers at a consumer level. So you're not doing any business to business.
We are doing business to business. More so the business comes through setting up someone, like meeting with someone that does own a business, and then you branch off into them, playing kind of a referral program. I must, but I mean, we've set up, the Samsung company right there in Dallas.
Wow.
The Samsung building in Dallas. Set up churches, small businesses. Got a couple of those coffee shops and everything. So definitely we're not the biggest company out there yet. Been around for about 5-6 years, but definitely moving in the right direction as far as our competitors. We're in the top 2 smart home automation companies in Texas, and looking to be for a monotronic station with every alarm system has to run through. We are actually in the top 10 in the whole nation.
Wow. Okay. Wow, top 10. Okay. So you hear that, folks? So if you want to learn how to do door-to-door sales, you got to look up. You said
Vault Security.
Vault Security, and look up Leo Bados when you're in town. So, Leo, could you kind of tell the viewers what is your favorite part about this business? I mean, I understand, a lot of people, including myself, and I even asked you this last month. How do you cold call? How do you door knock? It's very, I mean, when people hear that phone call, you get sales, a phone call, you have to prospect. Not a lot of people like it. So, kind of, how did you get over that fear? How did you overcome that? And what's your favorite part about the whole process?
So, my favorite part of the whole process, a lot of people call me crazy. A lot of my friends and family, neighbors, they call me crazy just because of the fact that we are cold contacting. My favorite part, honestly, is being able to correlate to so many aspects of life. Life is, going through troubles and pushing through, making it happen. And that's exactly what the cold contacting is. It's playing the numbers. It's honestly playing the numbers, and numbers don't lie. Numbers are factual, they're quantitative. And actually put in there a little bit of skill and a little bit of work ethic. Cold contact, one of my favorite things is being able to break something, nothing from something, to turn nothing into something. One day, waking up, going out there, not knowing whether you're going to, make money or not. But the beautiful thing is, once you hone the skill of cold contact information with the right guidance and the right leadership, through the scripts, systems that we use repetitively, and then teach, and they're duplicatable. It just becomes an art after that. It's not knowing whether am I going to make a deal or not. It's knowing whether, or am I going to make $1,000 today, or am I going to make only $500 today, or am I going to make $2,000 today? It's just a matter of. I guess the point is, my favorite part of content creation is the ability to go through the rejection, in as many doors as possible, and keep going until you make what you want to make happen.
Right, until you want to get something. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like you guys train up your reps with proven scripts, proven. So
Yep.
It sounds like all it is really a process to just.
It's just a process. One of the three things that we look for, especially when we're hiring someone, when I'm interviewing someone, one of the things that we actually tell them is that this is so we run an internship program. The reason we do that is because we give opportunity to college students to build communication skills. Yeah, exactly. And so one of the things, kind of like what I was saying earlier, one of the things that we do whenever we hire someone, we directly tell them that. Going a little bit backwards, we run our internship program. We give students abilities to, create, cultivate good communication tactics, negotiations, and everything. But on top of that, they receive actually college credits for the communication classes in college.
Okay.
So, which is a pretty cool. Goes and bring these guys up. But the magic of it is putting someone through something so hard that at the end they look back thinking, I did that and I was successful at it. Going door to door for 14 weeks straight. It's a boot camp that we run. So anybody who makes it through that boot camp and does over 25 accounts at minimum,
right,
is that person that we later on for next year bring onto a management position, bring on to growth with the company. This is enough for the growing company. So right now like I said, we're at the cusp of growing and exploding. But going off of that, it's one of the things that we tell them is we tell the students whenever we're hiring. This is going to be one of the hardest internships that you've ever done. One of the best paid internships. Average intern makes around $15,000 in 3 months. But it's definitely one of the hardest due to all the rejection. This job is 97-98% rejection. That 2-3% is where you make the money.
Wow. So you said that. Okay, so it seems. So I'm thinking you have a lot of turnover. Then I mean, you got to go through all these people. They think they have what it takes, and then a month later they're like a shooting star, and they're like burn out or something like that.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly. And so one of the things that we do is we bring out about 30 students, 25 to 30 students per office. Okay, and the beauty of it is. At the beginning, you're going to have people, quit. I've had people quit in the first game, second day, third week. It's a 14-week program. But it becomes really cool whenever it becomes like 7th, 8th week to where anybody that's there is there to stay. And it's there to push. And we all get extremely along just because it is it's a kind of like a sales fraternity. Where we do, I probably don't want to go that route. I was going to say we do a lot of partying.
No, it's okay. I mean, go ahead, man. I mean, you got guys like me working, 15 hours a day. I don't go out on the weekends, so maybe shed some light on what you should not do.
Okay, no. So yeah, it's one of the things that we run pretty much like I said, a sales fraternity, and our motto, I guess you could call it, is work hard, play hard. We do a lot of fun stuff in the weekend, go skydiving, go car racing, racing exotic cars like Bugattis, Lamborghinis, jump, skydiving. I mean, you name it, we do it all. Okay, but the thing is that during those 14-week periods, we are working. We're working 70, 80 hours a week, knocking on doors, pretty much from our day runs anywhere from 11 a.m. all the way to 9 p.m. every single day.
Wow.
On Saturdays, it's 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. That's a 14-week period. But looking back and coming back after doing such an extensive boot camp, and sales boot camp, communication boot camp, is seeing the success, seeing the money, seeing the connections you've made, and also seeing how you are around your peers, and noticing that your communication skills are just a tad bit higher.
Right. No, that sounds awesome, man. So you're doing about 12, 14 hours a day, knocking on these doors nonstop. So
exactly.
I mean, how does that work? I mean, like, you ever get people that say no, leave me alone? What happens? How does that walk me through knocking on a door? How does that work?
Well, the beautiful thing is that yes, you see a lot of rejection, and that's what I like about it. That's my favorite part of it, the rejection, and
Wow.
being able to uh, I got buddies that doing 25 accounts, upwards of 100 accounts in the summer, 3 month period, generating over 6 figures to a company. This actually, I believe this year we generated the company anywhere from $2 to $3 million just in 3 months. Companies can't do that in a year.
Wow.
So it's definitely a lot of revenue, but going off of that, knocking on doors, yes, you do get rejection. You do people get out of my face, or they start taking pictures of you, and you don't know, you get this bad reputation, the neighbors start talking, but you always find that one or two, three people in the neighborhood, or depending on your skill set, like mine, five or six, seven people, to where they're willing to work with you. It's what I want to say. It's kind of like boxing.
Right.
I want to compare this. It's a mental game. It's 97% mental. Yes, walking around for 8-9 hours a day, it sucks, but you get used to it after the third week. But after that, it's just a mental game. Do I want to keep going? Do I want to knock on the next door? Is there a deal?
Right.
Going 4 hours without creating nothing. I've gone 9-10 hours knocking on the door and I don't get a deal.
And you're on 100% commission, right?
I'm on 100% commission.
Holy crap! Wow.
100% commission. 100% commission. That's awesome. It's a motivator.
Uh-huh.
Kind of like what I was saying earlier. Whenever you ask me what kind of business or job do I want, my skill sets now is whether am I going to get a deal or not. I know I'm going to get a deal. It's out there putting in the work, keeping my positive attitude, and I know I'm going to get 1, 2, 3 deals in one day. Make anywhere from $500 all the way to $2,000 just in one day.
Jeez, man. Okay. Well, I have to commend you on that, man. I don't know very many people that'll say out there. I know I wouldn't do that. I mean, I could. I'm getting used to it now. I'm getting on the phones more, but man, I'll be honest with you. I have to commend you on that. I could not get out there and pound those pavements. So, man, that kind of brings me to another question, Leo. So, it sounds like you guys are out there. You guys are making a lot of money. You guys are changing lives, kind of helping the consumers out, building a solid team. So, for anybody looking to kind of get started into whether it's sales or kind of the cold call or the security industry or kind of whatever in general, what is some advice that you can give to our listeners?
Well, one of the advice that I would say is definitely do some type of cold calling. Whether you're going to be a finance, in whatever realm of business that you want to go in, you should definitely do some type of cold calling.
Right.
And the boot camp, one of the things that boot camp that we run is, it's a boot camp. It's going to tell you whether this is for you or not. It's going to tell you what marketing is for you or not, finance for you or not, people is.
But anyways, as you can see, Leo has a way better camera and good lighting now. Anyways, so Leo, we were asking you, so if anybody wants to kind of get started in this industry, sales, cold calling, or door knocking, there's a lot of people out there who are kind of looking at sales as another way out of their current jobs to give you, obviously we know sales kind of gives you more flexibility, it gives you a different way to make an income. So yes. How would you tell viewers to how did you start, first of all?
Well, kind of like what I said earlier, my sales career started really whenever I just really had a vision, okay? And it was, I wanted to become and I remember wanting to become a doctor, wanted to become all these things. And the only reason I wanted to do it is, kind of like what everybody else's motivator is money. But also one of mine is, impacting people in a positive way. And so the only way I was going to be able to do that, and really another big motivator is, getting better at communication, getting better at negotiation, getting better at, talking to one person and, also talking to 300, 400 people at the same time. And that's kind of where I started, going all the way from car sales to, running my own insurance business to right now managing teams and whatnot, so traveling around the United States and motivating, talking, training, and hopefully at the end of the boot camp, making someone have an awesome experience by doing something so challenging like going door to door, relocating to a new city, doing all this fun stuff, working hard and playing hard.
Right.
So that's kind of my ideology with it. And right now it's more so teaching kind of things that I've learned in the past and passing it on and impacting someone else's, both in financial and a personal level
Right.
by making them better, essentially.
Okay, cool, man. So now to spin off of that, so let's just say that I'm kind of, I'm brand new. I'm thinking about going into sales. I don't know anything about anything really about sales. How would you recommend someone like me, a complete newbie? Where do you recommend I'd start?
Yeah, cold contacting,
Okay.
honestly. You'll know whether this is for you or not. Doing anything and everything that you can to create business from nothing. And the reason our program is so successful every year after year, revenuing millions of dollars within a very short time amount, is because of the fact of the leadership and the training that we do. One of the things that we teach and preach is, keep it calm, cool, collected. Doesn't matter whether the situation, if someone has a gun held up to your face or, someone's really wants to buy your product. It's all about, keeping a poker face and being able to, exude confidence to them and making them comfortable enough for, to give you a check, to trust you with the security of the house, to trust you with, protecting their family and essentially trusting you and that your product is going to work. So that's one of the things that we preach. And at the end of the day, especially with sales, and that's kind of what is the way that, I guess it's stepping stool to anything else that you want. It's because in the business world, it doesn't matter whether you have $50 in the bank account or $50,000 in the bank account. If you show up in a meeting and you're confident, you're calm, cool, collected, you have your knowledge, there's no way that someone, and you're so passionate about the product, there's no way that someone's going to be able to look into you in the face and tell you no, that I don't want to buy yours. They're telling no to you, they're telling no to your company, and they're telling no to your knowledge. And if you have all those three things lined up,
Right.
there is no way that business will be coming your way.
Okay, so I heard really what I heard from you was calm, cool, collected, kind of having product knowledge, kind of knowing your stuff. Would there be any, kind of, you get a lot of people who kind of want to be kind of spoon fed sometimes. Sometimes, everyone learns different. Some people are visual, audio. They have to do the program or something like that. Is there, is there anything, I guess, like any type of books or something that you could recommend, like other than, just kind of getting out there to do it? Is there something else that you could recommend to viewers? Maybe like a book to read or a website to go look at or a video to watch to kind of help with the process of growing?
Of course. One of my biggest teachers, in the previous years, even when I was selling cars, was, first of all, just going out there. Number one, going out there and actually looking for the content. Going out there, anything that you can get your hands on, any book that talks about sales. Really, every book has its own little nuggets in there. It's all about picking up those nuggets, applying them, and perfecting the method. Like they say, you can't build Rome, and you built Rome in one day. Skills aren't honed in one day or a couple of hours of training. Right. It's chiseling away. One of the books that I've read that's really, motivated me to, master the art of cold contact and sales and persuasion and talking. That's exactly what it is, talking, communicating with other human beings. It is influence friends. So one of the books that I definitely highly recommend reading. Kind of what how I started. I was actually mentored by this guy named Mr. He actually runs Donald Trump's companies. He's one of the things that he told me. He said, you got to start reading books. One of my goals is to at least read one or two books a month.
Okay.
That comes in and stuff like that, work comes in, but making everything that you can possible to where you're at least keeping your mind sharp. One of the books that I definitely recommend, especially if you're starting off and kind of got me in the hook, is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. It's an awesome book. It's a really short read and definitely really opens your eyes on how to take care of certain situations and whatnot. There's other books kind of like bring you a little bit of business into it. Grant Cardone comes out with his 10x rule,
Right.
talking about how you can, achieve higher goals by putting, 10x of your effort into it. Another book by him is, I just finished reading it.
Is it the new one?
I'm sorry?
Is it his new one? He has a new one. I think it's like Be Obsessed or Be Average.
Not obsessed, but one of the recent ones is Sell or Be Sold. One of the biggest, oh my gosh, motivational books as far as sales go and really pushing you forward. But as far as content online, one of the things I highly recommend is going to seminars. Seeking out these things to make you a better person. That right now, yes, you are investing money, but look at it, like I said, an investment. Look at it as an investment for your brain, because someone might say something in whatever video you're watching, whether it's motivation or sales, whatever you're watching, but at least putting yourself in the position of learning, you gain that knowledge and apply it, and maybe that's your golden nugget. Maybe that's what you needed to take your sales from 1 or 2 sales a day all the way to 5 or 6 sales a day.
Right.
Earning $3,000-$4,000 in a month to earning $10,000-$15,000 in a month.
Right. No, I mean, and that's really good. That's really good content. So we got. You said you try to read 1 or 2 books a month. Is what you said. So we got read books, go to seminars, and it sounds like just kind of get in front of people who are kind of wanting to do what you want to do or something.
Yeah, okay, and also a big thing is networking and surrounding yourself, kind of like surrounding yourself like gentlemen like you, Prince, and people like people that are like wanting something greater than themselves and not much. And surrounding yourself with successful people definitely helps. But one of the biggest things, and this is where people mostly fail, and anybody watching this, take note of this and write this one last thing, is getting started.
Okay.
Before you are getting started, okay? Putting yourself through, through that rejection. That's the only way you're going to learn. It's getting started, getting out there, knocking your doors, or making your first phone call, or talking to the first client, or buying leads, or whatever you have to do, but just get started.
Right.
That's where people mostly fail, is the start, is not the motivation. I can look up YouTube videos right now. I mean, people listen to music to get motivated, but actually...
Okay, so let me ask you this, Leo. So why do you think, as entrepreneurs and as salespeople, why do you think people have problem of getting started? What do you think is stopping that? Because that seems like, I hear that too. If someone would just take the first step, they don't have to know the whole way. But then all of a sudden the second step comes, and then the third step, and then the fourth. So why do you think people have a hard time getting started in the first place?
Living in this sense of hope, but point being is, going out there and putting in the work, knowing that you're not going to fail, and knowing that you will do anything that it takes to make it happen. That's, that's like kind of like I said, fear. That's what makes people not want to do it, not want to do this. And if anybody, that's human beings. We are, encrypted to survive, to want to do good. And once we find ourselves in a comfort level, we don't ever want to leave that comfort level. When everything that you want, pretty much any of your dreams that you want, your next level of pay, or that next car, that dream house, or that dream girl or boy of us, it's really just outside your comfortable. I'll comfort zone.
Right. Okay. So.
The comfort zone. The only reason people don't get outside the comfort zone is fear, and the only people are afraid is because they are not sure. They don't know. But now I can tell you from experience, from sales experience. People call me crazy by doing cold contact and go knocking on doors every day, but every day I wake up knowing that I can go out there, and just not because of what I have right now, but because of what I've learned in the past few years. Knowledge is power. Going out there and making a deal, making my X amount of money that I want for the day or for the month, or I want that next car. Shoot, I got to do X amount of deals. I got it.
Right.
So it's just it's not easy. That's not easy to do. It's not something that your first idea, third idea, fourth idea doesn't even work sometimes. It's usually that 20th, 30th time you actually finally get it down.
Right.
So honestly, that's kind of what the big thing is. People don't want to jump off the cliff because they don't know if that's going to fit. You have to build their wings all the way down.
Right, and kind of to expand a little bit, Grant Cardone says it in many of his podcasts, or if you watch his Whatever It Takes Network TV show. He actually says that sales is, like, the way that he defines it is your ability to go out in the marketplace and generate an income for yourself and your family. And I thought that was very powerful because basically what he's saying is, if you, like you said, if you hone your skills and you teach yourself and you put yourself through these mistakes and you make the mistakes and you hone your skills to be, like you said, you chisel yourself out to be that perfect you, then, and probably you really can go out there and generate an income for yourself, which I thought was a really interesting thing he said.
Yeah, and I have to agree with you. It's really funny to see all these people that, they see me going knocking doors, but then they'll be surprised on how much money I'm actually bringing in. And kind of to stay away a little bit from the money, one of the things that I also like to live by, you can't buy your happiness, The awesome thing about what I do and how much effort I put into it and the teams that I've built and everything is, knowledge is power, kind of like what I said earlier. You can strip away everything that I have, all the connections, all the clients, the apartments, all the vacation, all the money that I have, shit, on the desk with only a shirt on my back. And within a year's time, you better believe that I'm going to be exactly where I am right now. Not because of what I had, but what I learned. And that's one of the things that we like to preach here in this internship that we do, a 14-week boot camp, is being able to have hone a skill and perfecting the ability to communicate with others to create your own income, to create your own business, and to later on. One of the things that we like to say is, give us really motivated to have one of your life. And we have people that went through this program that are top-notch lawyers in New York, run their own car dealerships. They're I don't know. I mean, the whole spectrum of careers, teachers, also communications is one of the things that people kind of overlook. It's what we do every single day. I tell people I talk for a living.
Right. No, that is really powerful what you just said. But I mean, all in all, man, I've really enjoyed this conversation. I mean, it's been really interesting, and I learned a lot of stuff my damn self. So Leo, man, this has been a really good interview. I've learned about a lot of stuff about sales and motivation and how you can get yourself out there and keep going. So, to kind of wrap it up, man, if people want to learn more about you and contact you, how would people go about that?
Yeah, one of my biggest things is definitely sending me an email. That's what I'm the most approachable with. I got a extremely busy schedule. I work all the time, and I also have my friends and my family that I have to attend to. But definitely reaching to my email directly to me at lionel.gmail.com. And then one of another biggest thing we get on our website, a lot of things that I stand for, is going to my Instagram. You'll see a lot of places that I've been to through my social organization, the guys that I hang out with, the things that I do, the work hard, play hard mentality that we have with all security and our internship program that we do, or our boot camp from us. And then you'll actually be able to see on my Instagram here, there is a link, and you'll be able to get to my, and see what I stand for, kind of what I did for whatnot. So those are my biggest two, my email and Instagram. And Instagram would be at Bados.
Okay. So if people want to email you, you said leonel.bados@gmail.com.
Yep, LEONEL.BADOS@gmail.
Okay. And Instagram at Leo Bados as well?
Yep, at LEO at LeoBados.com. I'm sorry.
It's cool. All right, so there you have it, folks. The myth, the man, the legend. So this is Leo Bados coming from us. Where you currently at, man? Omaha?
Yeah, I'm in Omaha, Nebraska right now. For the next week or so, and then I'm shooting back over to Dallas, and then I think I'll be here in a couple of months. I'm gonna go to Mexico or something with a couple of guys, and it's kind of traveling around the world. One of the cool things that we do is we definitely. I love business and I love traveling and I love combining both together. So might as well make the best of it. But I don't know how to Dallas forward in about a week.
Okay, well, if you want to get him in Dallas, you hear him, folks. He's coming down here for about a week or two, and then he's off traveling around the world. You might catch him in outer space or something. Anyway, anyways, all right, guys. So this has been the interview with Leo Bados. Signing off. Thank you very much.
Thank you.